Making your own React app from scratch can be really, really intimidating, and I wanted to make this video to show you just how easy it can be when you use a tool like Onlook paired with a tool like Cursor. Onlook is really great because we'll give you a blank template that you could just clone and start designing relatively quickly in. We also have an AI tool that helps you build that interface really, really quickly. And then I'm going to show you how I like to use Cursor with Onlook to add a little bit of functionality to an app so that it actually works and functions, and I'm not just designing something that is just purely pixels. So to create a new app, we'll just go over to this upper right corner and create a new project to start from scratch. Today, we're going to make a really, really basic Twitter clone. Okay, so I'm going to call this my Twitter clone and hit next. What we're going to do here is install this app into a folder on our computer, and this is going to be the reference place where we're going to be working with our app. This is where all the code goes. So choose a folder that's appropriate. You might want to put it in a GitHub folder or a development folder. If you don't have one, you should create one. This is going to create an app folder within that folder. All right, now that the project is set up, we can hit Run Project. What you're going to need is Cursor or VS Code or Zed or some sort of IDE to actually see your code, but then also run your project. We don't quite handle that yet in Onlook, but we will eventually. Now that I've copied this command, I'm just going to go over to Cursor so that I can actually get the project set up over there and have this one-to-one connection between Onlook and Cursor. So I'm going to find my folder in Cursor. Here's my Twitter clone. I can see the files over here, and I'm going to open up this bottom panel, which is going to show me the terminal. You see it's already navigated here with my Twitter clone. What I'm going to do is just paste in that command. You'll see it says change directory, CD, to where that folder is, my app folder specifically, and then I'm going to actually run this. npm run dev is essentially the equivalent of clicking an app on your desktop, and then it will start running in your actual machine. So once I've done that, I'll hit enter. And if you don't know where the terminal is, you can actually drag up from the bottom in both VS Code and Cursor, or you could just toggle this bottom panel over here. Now that that is running over here, I don't have any errors or anything. You'll see that it's running on localhost 3000. This is something that is set by default within Onlook, so don't worry about it right now. But I could go back to Onlook and hit complete setup. Okay, so this is my app. You'll see I have like a basic header. I have a paragraph over here, and there's really not that much on the canvas. Before I do anything, I'm actually going to lean on Onlook's AI to build a lot of the front end for me. This is a great way to solve this like blank canvas problem by having AI take a stab at it. And you might be surprised at how good the output actually is. So I like the old classic Twitter look and feel, right? The blue, the typography. So I'm going to ask it to make me just a basic Twitter feed in the classic Twitter blue colors and with their typography. Okay, so I gave it some very specific instructions here. I said, make me the classic Twitter feed interface with the classic Twitter blue, their typography, icons, and layout. Feel free to put in dummy data for the tweets, use placeholder images for the user profile pictures, and make the like button work. So there's a lot of elements here, but because I'm specific, it'll hopefully get what I'm trying to get done here and actually just put that together in the first attempt. The reason I want to use placeholder images is that sometimes the AI is actually good at using just generic links, and it makes the app feel a little bit more built out. Okay, so it decided to use some icons that I don't have installed on the product. A lot of times you'll run into these build errors if AI is asking you to bring in something like frame motion or some sort of other library. And at first you might be like really, really nervous about what to do next, but you can see and just follow the instructions. You know, anytime they suggest adding this npm install, you could just take this, copy it, and then put it into the terminal, and then it'll install it on your code base, and then you can start running the project again, and hopefully it'll solve your issues. A lot of times when you're just starting to build something from scratch, you'll need to bring in some of these libraries. So nothing bad is happening here. We just need to make sure that we have the library. So what I've done is I've copied the code over here. I'm going to go back and just hit Control C. That is going to stop or cancel my program. That's equivalent of like, Command Q or, Alt F4. And so I will just paste this over here and hit enter. And it's going to actually install the package for me. All right, pretty quick. Now that I'm ready to actually go back into using my app, what I could do is jump up here, copy the run commands, and then paste it over here. We're already in that folder, so if you wanted to, you could just write npm run dev, but I just wanted to show you where you could find the command if you need it. Okay, so now we're restarting the app. We'll go back over to localhost. Okay, so here we are. This is what it created for us. So if we go into interact mode, you can see that there's some hover states. Seems like the colors are correct. Seems like the icons are good. Let's just click on something. Yep, the like works. Seems like it goes up and down, as you would expect. Share button doesn't work. Retweet doesn't work. Comments don't work. But this is all stuff we can add in with Cursor. Okay, I think, this is a really good first stab at something, but we're kind of missing the ability to create a new tweet. This is where Cursor can come in and be useful. You can also do this in Onlook, but I'll show you just what the flow looks like with Cursor. Because Cursor and Onlook can work together, the Cursor is the source of truth of your code, and Onlook is the visual source of truth. What you could do is actually select an element and then right-click and hit View Element Code, and it will take you to the exact point where that item is. Do you see here where it says article, and it says article right here? So that's purely what happened when I hit right-click, View Element Code. It brought me right there. So here's the tweet name. There's John Doe's name right there. Okay. So I'm just going to bring this down a little bit, and I'm going to open up Cursor's chat. And I'm going to say, using the context of this page, add in a composed tweet section. Cursor is really great at some of these more complex tasks where you might need to understand what's happening in the code base before you just accept it. So now that it wrote all of this and gave me an explanation, I'm just going to use the apply button over here to accept what it had suggested. I'm going to hit save. That's important. You'll need to see it. And it created this section up here to compose a tweet. Let's try it out. You'll see here there's a tweet button. It doesn't actually work because I haven't typed anything yet. Okay. And bang, it just created a tweet for me. This is the current user. It still has dummy data for the comments, the retweets, the likes. I can like my own tweet, and it assigned a timestamp. So, that's a quick overview of what you're able to do with both Onlook and Cursor together. You'll see that there's a couple of places that the AI had missed, right? It shows some profile pictures that we don't have support for. Let's open this up and just find out what that looks like. Yeah. So it uses the place kitten over here. It seems like these are maybe like a bunch of standard links. Yeah, I'm sure that there's a way that I can maybe find a better placeholder. Unsplash tends to be a good place for good free images. But, we went from essentially a blank React project to creating a UI relatively quickly, even with a little bit of functionality, such as this like animation or the ability to like it. And then we added in this ability to write a tweet, and the tweet box is actually quite functional. If I wanted to, I can make things a little bit spicier with some animations. If I wanted to focus in on a specific element over here, I can look at this whole bar and ask it to make it so it's all functional. I'm still looking to add in user accounts, user pages. Tweets have their own pages where you can see replies. So step by step, if you just select these elements, open them in Cursor, work with it over there, or you drop in divs and components and elements either through Cursor or Onlook, you'll be able to build an app relatively quickly. But we make it really easy because you're just copying all the infrastructure you need in the basic starter project, and now you have your source of truth, which is a website that I can go and navigate to at any point. This is running locally. You'll actually need to go and host it, and I can also work with Cursor for some of the more complex functionality. So just as a final proof of what I was able to do here, I'm just going to show you how you can navigate to your local host in your actual browser. And here's a functional website. So with everything you would expect, right? We have exactly the same interface that we had built in Onlook. It's just actually in our browser now. So that concludes just the quick run through of building a Twitter clone using Onlook and Cursor. Play around with the AI, see what you're able to build with it in Onlook. And when you need to build some of the more complex functionality, jump over to Cursor. It's a little bit better for some of the more complex things, such as adding in these comments or building other pages, or some of the other functionality you might want, such as accounts, a database, etc. But this has been amazing. I'm really excited about this, and I'm looking forward to just adding in some more functionality. If you have any questions about getting set up with Onlook, or you want to just chat a little bit, you can send me an email. I'm Daniel@onlook.dev, and I can't wait to see what you actually build with Onlook. All right, bye.